Hey everybody, so this week for my module 4 of Praxis, week 2, we learned all about critical thinking, argumentation, and argumentation fallacies. So basically we watched 8 videos from Dr. Sadler. He's a professor at a university in Arkansas. I'm not exactly sure which university it is, but we watched 8 videos on him giving lectures to his students about this whole subject and just really diving deep into the details of it. So I'm going to start off he talks about arguments mostly, and I'm going to start off by kind of defining arguments and issues and claims. So an issue, say we have an issue, should abortion be illegal or legal, something like that. That is what an issue is. A claim is a statement that asserts something to be the case or not to be the case. So say I say abortion should be legal or should be illegal. That is a claim. And then the argument is when you take multiple claims and you dealing with an issue and come to a conclusion. So that's when you're talking it out with the opposing side and making your claims to be either better or worse than the person's, and then coming to a conclusion, should it be legal or illegal, things like that. So he kind of goes into the nuts and bolts of the fallacies of argumentation. That's what most of our video consumption was about, was the fallacies. And the fallacy is something you take an argument and you kind of construe it to try to manipulate the other person to agree with you. And some of these aren't okay at all. A lot of them can be okay in some form, like say you are attacking one person. We were just talking about it in a call for my praxis tonight. If you're attacking one person, I think if you're with a group of buddies and you're talking about sports, it's okay in that way because you all know it's just fun and games, things like that. But we're talking about the serious, you're getting into an argument, and these are the fallacies. So I'm going to start out with appeal to emotion. So this is basically you are arguing and you're trying to get them to feel bad or feel a certain way. Or you say, I feel X, so Y is true. Like, I feel sad, so I need more candy. Something like that. And that's not necessarily a valid argument to make for that, because there's so many different sides of the story that can go into that argument. And then the second one, that there's a bunch, so I'm just going to go over them really quickly. The second one that he brought up was appeal to popularity. So that's when people will say, well, most people think this is true, so it must be. And when I heard of this, I thought of, oh, well, would you jump off a bridge if everyone else did it? I think that's probably something that everyone can relate to. Your mom has said to you one day in your past. That doesn't make it okay if everyone else thinks it's true. You really need to look at it yourself and find out what's true for yourself. In that sense of the argument. And then he talked about 2 others that kind of went along with that. So appeal to common practice. So we're running behind in college, but everyone runs behind, so it's okay for me to do it. Things like that. And then appeal to tradition. It's a way we've always done it. Kind of like religious traditions are a huge one, and cultural traditions. So say like Thanksgiving is coming up. We've always done Thanksgiving a certain way. It should always be turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, all of this really good food. I'm probably making you hungry by now, but is making you think of something in one certain way and never changing it, because there's never a better way. Which, who knows, maybe we can have a Mexican feast at Thanksgiving one day in the future. I've done that before, and it's honestly kind of refreshing. So things like that you need to look at. And is there a better way that we could do this? I know we've done this and I work at a bank, this happens a lot. We oftentimes have policies and procedures that we do, and sometimes they're outdated. And someone will be like, oh, well, that's the way we've always done it, but is there a better way to do it? So that was for that one. And then the next one he said was 2 wrongs make a right. He was talking about they did it first, so I can do it. And this really appeals to the childlike state of mind. A lot of kids will bring this up like, oh, well, my sister did it first, so it's okay for me to do it. And I think this one really just applies to children and people with childlike mindsets. I'm not sure if a grown adult would really make that argument in make that claim in a true argument, if they were to go through and try to actually make a valid claim for that argument, if that makes sense. The next one was red herring. So changing the subject